You cannot have an orgasm. There's nothing wrong with you.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel.
What's up, you are? I'm in a good mood today. Anyways, I wanted to talk about something in this video that I actually want to really go in depth with this, but I don't think I'm gonna do it in a video. I think I'm gonna do it in the form of another way that can benefit people that struggle with this a bit more, because I feel like after you watch a video, no matter how much information is in there, it doesn't quite get to everything, because everybody is different and everybody's gonna have different situations and circumstances. It's gonna give a very general cover of the subject, which is not being able to have an orgasm. So again, that's going to be very different for a lot of people, the reason for that, but we're going to go through a couple that I could think of. But trust me, and none of these reasons, if it won't apply to you, do not worry. Don't think that there's just something wrong with you because I didn't say it. No, there's these reasons, and there's a lot and so much more. I want to talk more about that because I feel like it's crazy when I hear women say that they're not having orgasms, and not only is it crazy to me, but I can relate to it because I remember being in that situation as well, thinking that it was just like, this is it, or it's just not supposed to happen for me. I remember that feeling, and no woman should feel like that. I feel very strongly about this. So anyways, we're gonna get right into the video. Reasons why you may not be able to come or have an orgasm. This is gonna be an 18 and up conversation only. Anybody else can see themselves out, even though you shouldn't be watching this video anyways, because all of my videos should be censored. They're not made for kids, okay? So anyways, the first one, like in the beginning of the video, you saw it, faking an orgasm. I've said it before and I will say it again. This helps no one. This is one thing that makes the least amount of sense out of every reason, but it is the most common. It is a trickle effect when you fake an orgasm, because you're telling your partner that they did something good. And when you tell your partner, and when they think that they did something good and they made you come, they made you feel good, which is the whole thing about sex. You have fun and you're making your partner feel good along with making yourself feel good. If they think they made you feel good, that be some people's main goal is to make the other person just feel amazing. And if they think they accomplished that, do you think they're going to change what they're doing? They're not going to change what they're doing. They're going to do the exact same thing, and that thing did nothing for you. So faking an orgasm is everybody's main problem. And I agree with this one so much because I've done it because I felt bad that it was taking me so long to get there. Especially when you have sex with men, sometimes they come a little bit easier. Because their organ is kind of just out there. And not saying for everybody, because some men don't come that fast. But you know, I feel, my opinions, I feel that men come a little bit faster, a little bit easier than it is for women. We're a little bit more complex down there. And I think a lot of people can agree with that. So I used to feel bad when I noticed that a guy or even a girl, it would be anybody, but I would feel bad if I knew that they was trying their hardest to like make me come, and I knew I was nowhere close to that. And I felt bad. And so I would just be like,
Oh yeah, I made it to the top of the mountain. Fireworks, explosions.
knowing damn well I was just chilling at the bottom of the mountain like, this was fun. I'll finish in the bathroom later. If you're not coming and if you don't feel comfortable being like, oh, I didn't come, just try something else. Take control. Like, try to do something else. Maybe focus on them for a little while and then you do something else. Like, you can make it fun. People, I think, overthink sex. And it was so funny the other day. I kept asking all of my friends, like, or my cousin's friends. I was asking my cousin's friends, and I asked one of my friends as well. Like, I was like, do you have sex? Is like your main goal when you're having sex is to have an orgasm, or are you just there to kind of enjoy yourself? Because I feel people have an unrealistic expectation of what sex is, and that is because for me, I feel like sex is just it's one of the most normalest things in the world, and everyone does it, but it's like such a taboo subject to talk about freely. Makes no sense to me. I don't get how we're still living in like BC times where you can't like talk to your kids are gonna have sex one day. Your kids are gonna have sex one day. Why not prepare them to be safe? And why not prepare them to, not like you don't want to think about your kids enjoying sex, no, but you want to prepare them. You want them to feel comfortable, because when you have a person, especially a young female, but males too, it's not just one gender. You don't want a young person to start being introduced to sex and thinking that this is okay, and they live the rest of their life like that. There's people that are in their 60s and never had an orgasm. That's crazy. But they've had kids. That's crazy. That can be, you can have like a really unhealthy relationship. The benefits of having an orgasm regularly are like amazing. The pheromones that you release, the happy gas that literally lives inside of you and is released when you have an orgasm, is so crazy that you've lived your life and you've never experienced that. And that's not to like shame you or anything, but I'm sorry you've never had that. So stop faking it. Stop faking it. That's the first one. That one touches me in my soul. And don't be afraid to speak up. At the end of the session, if they came and it's over, be like, I didn't come. So when you rest up, we're gonna go again and we're gonna finish this. Because it's not fair that they finished and you didn't. Okay? It's okay that you want them to help you finish, because that's. Did you just come over? Especially if they come over to your house and they get theirs and you didn't get yours? The audacity. And the audacity for you to let them. Don't fake it. Another reason, so this is going to be the second reason, is that you never learned. You never learned what you liked, and or you never masturbated or played with yourself to learn. So I'm going to say this. I think it is so very important and so very healthy for you to have a sex life with yourself. I'm like a strong advocate on that. And you should know that if you've been on my channel, because of the sex toys that I promote on like a regular basis. I think it is very, very important for you to have a healthy sex life with yourself and to know what you like and what you don't like. Because it then is going to help you speak up and tell the people what you like and don't like. Because if you don't know what you don't and don't like, and people are just doing things that you just don't like, and then you just think that this is what sex is, then maybe you just don't like sex, and then it's going to, again, a ripple effect. Dice, what is it? What's that saying? Dice effect? No, it's not a dice effect. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. And so you don't want that. So I think you don't have to masturbate to know what you like, because I've known people who never masturbated and they're still capable of having sex, having orgasms. Do I think they can still benefit off of masturbating? 100%. 100%. But I'm not saying that you have to masturbate in order for you to have a healthy sex life. But you do need to explore what you do like on your own, no matter what that looks like. But I do not encourage porn, because porn is 100% the most unrealistic thing ever. But if you need it to help you get off, that's cool too. And that's a thing that you know about yourself. And there's nothing wrong with introducing porn into sex with another person. That's cool too. That's called having fun, exploring, and trying new things, making it exciting. So yeah, definitely you have to know what you like in order to be able to speak up about what you like and to tell your partner what you like. Especially if you're like in a long relationship or a marriage, you have to be able to share what you like with another person. And you have to, for me personally, I would like to tell the person what I like before getting into like a long committed relationship, because if your sex kind of the likes and dislikes don't match up, somebody's always going to be unsatisfied. You know what I'm saying? It's the truth. The third thing is, do you like foreplay? And not only foreplay, but do you need, or maybe foreplay, because foreplay could be anything that's not sex, anything that can get you there, anything that's like foreplay-ish before sex. For me personally, I didn't know that I did need it. I know that I'm a pretty sexual being regular. But sometimes how I feel and how she feels, it don't be aligning. You know what I'm saying? She might be a little bit more bougie than I am. You know what I'm saying? So maybe I might be ready to pounce you, right? But she's not quite ready. She's not quite ready. She wants you to pet her a little bit, you know. She wants you to tickle her skin a little bit. She wants you to slowly, you know, make her ready. So, you know, they sometimes don't be aligned. They don't talk to each other before we get into a situation. So a lot of the times, yes, I do need foreplay to get it started. And foreplay for me is not just getting some brain tap, some tippy tap. You know what I'm saying? To me, that's not foreplay. But to me, I gotta be getting you. We're gonna get real detailed right now, get real personal. But foreplay to me is like, it's kind of like that chase a little bit, that tease a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a massage. Don't have to be a massage every time, because I don't feel like massaging people all the time. But sometimes a massage. Sometimes just like dirty texting. Sometimes just talking dirty, pillow talk, talking dirty. Or sometimes just teasing somebody, you know, making it seem like, you know, that build up. That's all that foreplay is build up to party time. And sometimes I need that in order for her to, you know, get what she needs to be. You know what I'm saying? So do you need foreplay in order to get there? There's nothing wrong with that. Don't ever let somebody make you feel like what you need and what you want and what you like is wrong, just because they don't want to put the time in. If you have somebody that doesn't want to give you head when you want head or you like head, then I'm sorry, you shouldn't be having sexual relationships with them. If you have somebody who's telling you that the things that you like are weird and they don't like them and they're not going to do them, then you shouldn't be having sexual relations with them. No. If somebody won't even have an open mind to hearing what you like, or when you tell them that they're not satisfying you and they become either aggressive or offended and all this extra stuff, and they don't want to put the time to learn how to please you, then you shouldn't be having sexual relationships with them. You shouldn't be having any relationship with them. Because if they can't even try to satisfy you, not even try and put in that effort to satisfy you, then honestly, what are they going to do for you in life in general? Think about that. The fourth one, one, two, three, four. Yeah, the fourth one is, do you need love in order to have sex? I think that this gets a bad rep because, you know, people are just out here slanging any and everything, you know. So even though nobody talks about sex, everybody's having sex. But some people can't. Some people cannot have sexual relations with other people that they don't have strong feelings for. And I don't think there's nothing wrong with y'all. And I say y'all because I'm not one of those people. I've been able to have relations with people. Though, do I enjoy having a sexual relationship with somebody that I have feelings for or that I'm in love with? 100%. It does. It is better. The sex is better. But I have still enjoyed sex and myself with somebody else that maybe I don't have those same feelings for. But some people are not like that. Some people cannot do that. Some people cannot share themselves with people who they don't have or maybe don't trust or don't love. And if you try to, I don't think you'll be able to get there. And that could be a situation for some people. So yeah, no, honey, if you don't love them and you feel like you need to in order to enjoy yourself or in order to feel comfortable during sex, because everybody should feel comfortable during sex. If you do not feel comfortable with the person you're having sex with, that's a 100% a no-no right there. 100%. So no, like, even though it's been a while, maybe it's been a few years since you've had sex, because maybe you haven't been in a relationship in a while, you've been focusing on you, your career, your family, whatever it is, that's okay. It's okay. You don't have to just give it away to give it. I have a lot of toys on my YouTube channel. Go ahead and check out those videos and you'll take care of yourself. If you need love to have sex, that's 100% okay. Do not force it with other people. The fifth thing is, how were you raised? How were you raised? And this one's going to be a little bit of a trigger warning, because it can go hand in hand with either how were you raised, or did you have any traumas when it came to sex? How were you raised? More so, was your family religious? Was your family real hush hush about sex? Was it one of those things where you grew up where it was a sin, or it was just bad, like no sex till you're 50 kind of thing? Or maybe you had you were raised where you were sexually abused, because, you know, both of those things can heavily affect a person when it comes to their sexual relationship. They can be in so much trauma from these past events, where they can't even have a sexual relationship with themselves, where they can't have sexual relationships with other people. And then when they do, they either feel uncomfortable or they can't have an orgasm, because the whole time they're overthinking and they're doing all this crazy stuff in their brain. And again, this is another thing that I can relate to as well. Sometimes when people have sexual traumas, especially early in life, but really at any age, it can affect you in one or two ways for me. Three ways. Let's say three ways. When you have any kind of sexual trauma at any age in your life, you can be affected in three ways. You shut down completely when it comes to sex, and you don't have it, you don't talk about it, you don't like it, it's uncomfortable, you don't want it, because you've never dealt with those traumas head on. The second one is you still feel uncomfortable with sex, but you kind of have it because you feel like you need to. And it's like, how are you going to have relationships with people if you never have sex? And the third one is somebody who's just hyperly sexual all of the time, just sex. And all three of those things, they stem from traumas. I'm not saying any of those things have to stem from trauma, but you're gonna go one of those three ways when you've had any kind of sexual trauma at any age. It's gonna affect you. Trauma is going to affect you. That's why you have to deal with it. And how you were raised is a big part of who you are now, you know? That's another thing. The number six, not tip, but reason. The sixth reason why you may not be having orgasms is maybe you have had orgasms in the past. Maybe you had a healthy relationship with the person that you are with. Maybe you've been with them for a long time, and maybe things have kind of gotten real comfortable. You kind of been slowing down in life, and maybe the sex is not as great as it used to be. That can happen. And that kind of sucks, because it can put a strain on a relationship, even if everything else in life is going right. Just because, you know, it happens. You've been with this person for a long time. It's kind of been the same thing for years and years and years, depending on how long you have been together. So you really have to pay attention to how you feel about your partner in this time. So if anybody is, and any one of you guys, husband or wife and wife and husband, however y'all are feeling in this relationship, you have to think. You have to stop. You can't just keep having bad sex, because honestly, that can get a lot of tension. And some people may look elsewhere to get it, thinking that they don't have it at home anymore. Or maybe you'll start thinking that your partner doesn't want you anymore, or your partner doesn't love you anymore. So you have to really sit down and think about your partner. How do you feel about your partner right now? What is happening in your relationship dynamic that is kind of getting you guys to this place? What do you need to bring that side out of you guys again? So you really have to pay attention to that. So no matter what, no matter how long you've been with your partner, you have to make sure that your feelings are aligned with her down there or him down there. You know what I'm saying? You have to pay attention to that, because how you feel about your partner can definitely affect your sex life. Talk to your partner. You guys should be comfortable enough with each other at this point, if you guys have been together for a while, to be able to talk about each other and not get offended, okay? Talk it out. Figure it out. Because ain't nobody want to live life without having an orgasm. The last reason that I have in this video, not the last reason, because there's plenty of reasons, but the seventh reason is people who go, again, it's going to be unrealistic expectations or just unrealistic of the thoughts about sex, is when you go into any kind of sexual relationship just ready to please another person. You want to do nothing else but please another person. And you're getting no pleasure out of it. And I understand those people who say they get pleasure out of pleasing other people. That's 100% true. Because when I please another person, that definitely is pleasurable for me too. So I get that. I know. But I still need to be pleased after. Can we take turns? Can we I can't just live like that. You know what I'm saying? So you can't just go into a relationship just ready to please another person, do whatever they want, make sure to me, I don't feel like that's a healthy relationship. You have to also be pleased. You deserve to feel that pleasure in return. You deserve to have a partner that wants to please you. Okay? And sometimes it can stem from any one of the other things on why you're in a relationship like that, or why you feel the need to pleasure more than be pleased. Some people want to please other people so much that when a person tries to please them, they get offended. What? I thought we were in a relationship. You want me, I want you. That's how it's supposed to go. You know, so you really have to, again, you have to know the person that you're with. And you should have at least a conversation, whether you're in a relationship or you're just having sexual relations. Two different things. Either way, whenever you have sex, I feel like there should be some kind of conversation. There should be some kind of common ground so that you guys can kind of, unless it's kind of like those one night stands kind of things, that can either go really great or really bad. Because again, you don't know anything about each other. You just know that there's some kind of sexual chemistry and y'all are about to do the darn thing. So again, it can go really good or really bad. But if you do take the time to know a person at least a little bit, again, if it's a relationship or relations, different. You have to know what that person likes, because there's really people out here who don't want to be touched. You've probably heard of them. There's some people in the LGBT community that are, I don't know if you've ever heard of, but touch me nots. Those are people who do not want to receive any kind of pleasure when it comes to any part of their sexual organs on their body. And you have to be okay with that. Personally, I am not okay with that. I've had that, thinking I would be okay, well, that sounds, to me as a woman, I'm you're just gonna please me and I just get to enjoy that. I can't fight you there. What? But then I noticed I enjoy sex too much, and I enjoy every aspect of sex, pleasing and getting pleased. So I noticed that wasn't good for me. So that was not a healthy kind of sexual relations that I was having with that person. So you have to really understand you in order to kind of get to the root problem of what it is. There's nothing wrong with you. That is the main part. You cannot have an orgasm. There's nothing wrong with you. Not being able to have an orgasm does not equal there's something wrong with you. Just know that. That's the most important part. The second most important part is getting to the root of the problem. Okay? So anybody, if you're ever experiencing anything, if you ever want to talk to me, I always tell you guys, my DMs are always open. You can always talk to me about anything. I'm going to be able to not give you the most educated answer because I don't study this. I'm not a professional, but I can give you my personal opinion when it comes to sex. And sex is something that I love a lot and I have experience in. So if you ever want to talk about it, or maybe you just need somebody to talk to, you can always talk to me in the comments or in my DMs, no matter where. My social media is all down below. I love you guys so much. Again, nothing wrong with you. You are perfect just the way you are. We just have to get over this little hump so that you can climax freely and whenever you want. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. My mouth is dry. Ugh.